Hello friends, welcome to Learn Well Teach. So the new topic is NACL and security groups. So here we discuss first about security group and the next we enter into the topic called NACL. So let's talk about security group first. Let us see the diagram first. So we have a VPC and we have a public subnet and we have a EC2 instance, and this is a EC2 instance, and this is one is security group, and this is NACL. This is NACL. Okay. Now let us come a little bit confusion, a little bit conclusion here. A security group, which means this one, is confined to EC2 instance. Okay. And NACL is confined to public subnet. Okay. We will go into much more details in the case by case study. So we have this is a diagram, but we are in this video. I'm going to be case by case. Okay. Again, this is just a beginning video, so even I'm not perfect in explaining the videos, and I even understand the concept. So just beginning. So just please bear with me. There are tons of videos available on YouTube, but it's just my way of teaching by learning. That's it. I want to give that conclusion in the very beginning. So don't expect from me more. So security group. Basically, it will allow all outbound traffic by default, which means, for example, assume that a VPC is called as a Hyderabad city, and this is one area like high tech city. Assume the public subnet is high tech city area. Here, and this, what we call no, not high tech city. Let's say, for example, this is like one JBR enclave. Like, for example, we have some different communities, right? Assume the public subnet is one community. In this, there is one building, 25 floor building, EC2 instance, and for this, we should need a security guard, right? Whoever wants to in, whoever wants to go out, and the security group is assume that security group is security guard who will monitor whoever comes in, whoever comes out of this apartment of this building, 25 stair building. Okay, so whoever goes out doesn't matter for the security guard or security group, but whoever comes in, definitely there is a check-in must be there. That's where the actual picture comes into picture, and this check-in is nothing but inbound rules. And hence, for inbound traffic, whoever comes into our EC2 instance or whoever comes into our apartment building, we define some rules. Okay, and this is called inbound rules. Okay, so let us assume we have a port 8 and we have port 22, and we know that HTTP is port 22 and SSH is port 22. Yeah, this is a basic example. We have some case studies here, like case 1, case 2, case 3. Let's see what I have written for now. Okay, so ports which are not defined are blocked. Only users are able to allow through this port only. For example, if I am entering into okay, let us understand what is a port actually. So port is a logical entity which acts as an endpoint of communication to interface application of process and lines operating system. Again, it has internet text, so I cannot explain more. Assume that port is like a gate. You have some gate 1, gate 2, gate 3. It's like one gate, and one gate number is 22, one gate number is 80. If gate number 443 is closed, I can't do anything. Okay, and hence if I want to go to the building or the community, I have to go to this gate number 22, which is here port number 22. Okay. Okay, so so whenever we install SSH, it creates an opening into server with port number 22. Similarly, whenever we install a software called Nginx, it creates another opening called 80. Similarly, with the 443, and there are a lot of ports available in the internet. Okay, now, for example, a client from the internet, or let's say, for example, whoever in the internet, whether it's from jungle guy, whether it's from I'm in India, somebody from Australia, somebody from US, somebody from UK, somebody from remote jungle, is in the client from internet can be web, it can be a web browser or other client. If he wants to connect such software, he needs to go through port 22. Okay, because in my EC2 instance, I have installed such software. Okay, and he needs to go to that gate 22 or port 22. If he wants to connect to Nginx, then he needs to go to the gate 80 or port 80. You can get it like a general normal friends, because it's like teach. I'm like teaching to a friend. Okay, yo. Now Now, yeah, I think I have made this line because how can we check what ports are there? For example, if you go to airport and you have to check which gate this particular which gate I have to go. So through which gate I have to go? Gate one or gate two, or gate three, wherever flight will come. So this similar like this. So if you want to check that part, the netstat minus NTLP command is the one actually. Okay, it just gives a list of ports and software. It's like you open some mobile flight app and you can check which gates the flights come in or come out. Okay, so that's where the actual picture comes into picture. Okay, the opening ports here. Okay, yeah. So the tricky part is anybody from internet can go through a port and can hack your Linux machine because we have a EC2 instance, right? Of course, we have a Windows machine instance, but here we confined to EC2 Linux machine only. Okay. Now, so anybody can hack our EC2 instance, and hence there should be some security group because anybody come from outside, to here, right? Anybody come from outside to here, and hence I need a security checkup here. That's where the security groups comes into picture. Okay. Yeah. So in the above diagram, we have EC2 instance, as a public subnet, security group which is associated with EC2 is a virtual firewall. Okay. So firewall is a terminology in AWS. We call it security group. It contains inbound doors, outbound doors. So you will see details about this one. So in the below sample example, the two inbound of one is TCP port 80 and one is port 22. Only users are able to allow these ports only. Ports that are not specified in the rules, these ports will be blocked. Like for example, this is EC2 instance and this EC2 instance allowed only HTTP and SSH and port 80 and port 22. Okay. Yeah, let's go deep dive into it one by one, case by case. Suppose we have two inbound roles. One is HTTP, and in HTTP, our website opens. Okay. Yeah, we know that, right? Only the port which are specified only allowed, otherwise are blocked. Okay. Now copy the public IP of the EC2 instance and open the browser, and you will get some name, whatever name you defined in that HTTP file. Here in this HTTP server, in this Nginx server, assume that I have installed a Nginx server in the EC2 Linux instance. Okay, EC2 Linux instance. I assume that I have installed Nginx software. Okay, in the Nginx software, I have deployed my website, and the website will give RGV. This is my website. Okay, so to display this one, you can just copy the public IP of the EC2 instance, and you will get it. Definitely, you will get it. You will get the output. Okay, now delete the port 80. The case number 2. What will happen is the website will not open. This website will not open. The reason here is, see, from my laptop, I'm teaching, right? I'm teaching from my laptop. From my laptop, I'm opening a website through EC2 server. Okay, so in my Amazon account, I created an EC2 instance. In that EC2 instance, I installed Nginx, but it is not opening because I didn't allow the port 80 because Nginx will allow through port 80 only. But in the so here I deleted this one. Here I deleted this one. Initially it is in the case 1, it is there. In the case 2, it is deleted, and hence the website will not open. Okay. See, I'm not showing any practicals here, but if you understand the cases initially, then practice is nothing but a few, just next. That's what I understood, while learning AWS. Okay. But again, if you have the port 80 again, and if you refresh the page, observation, it will again show the message. So that's what how the security group will work. Okay. Again, about the basics, primary aim is allow from trusted network and should not allow from untrusted network. Okay. Now let's go to the case number 4. So far, we have port 80 and 20 as inbound rules, 0, 0, allow for everyone. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Initially, assume that these are initially in the case 1, case 2, case 3. Assume that we have inbound rules from any from the internet 0.0.0. This is also 0.0.0. Now this is of case 4 will comes into picture. Okay, let's see here what will happen. So we have question is the port 22 through which we will log into server and run various commands. Do we really allow port 22 from internet? No. Yeah. See, through port number 22. Through port number 20, through SSH only, we log into server, right? So without 22, we cannot log into server. We run some commands, right? Some SSH hyphen something slash. We cannot log into server through port number 80. We log into server through port number 22, which is SSH. And hence anybody from internet can access my EC2 instance, right? Is it necessary? Unfortunately, no. At some point of time, my server can be hacked, right? So instead of allowing from internet, we can allow it from our own IP address from my home. For example, assume that and change TC and change TC HTTP TCP 80 from 0002 to 94 dot this one. Assume that this is my home address, okay? Assume that this is my home address. Nothing fancier. So observation that so basically so here yeah, okay. So this is a basically simple hack for so what conclusion here is anybody from the port 22 should not be allowed from the internet. Okay, just put this aside and let's come to the let's test some experiment. Okay, instead of allowing from internet, we can allow it from own IP address. So here instead of allowing from see it is a engineering server, right? From my public IP, let's say for example, what's the public IP? There's some if you type here public IP, you get some public IP. Okay, I don't want to type the public IP here. Okay, my public IP, and I don't type my public IP, but assume that through my public IP only, I'm able to open the website, which is TCP 80. Okay, I mean, what can I say? Much explain here is HTTP TCP 80, and I put here this one. Assume that I put here. Okay, just through this one. So this is what the case scenario is. Okay, now I am opening from my laptop to this EC2 instance, and hence it will open perfectly fine, no issues. However, let's assume that I changed this to some 6, which is not my public IP address. Okay, which is not public IP address. If I open this EC2 instance, if you open this website from my laptop, it will not open. It will not open because it is allowing some other IP address. This IP address is not my public IP address, and hence website will not open. Maybe this is my the next guy who's apart. I mean, I don't know whoever it is, but whoever has this IP address will able to open the website. So that's what the logic behind this. Okay, so and hence it will not load the page because connectivity is open from only one IP address. Website will not load since the public IP address is different, which means it allowed only from port 80. Okay, now case number 6. Now assume that port 80 should be allowed from it since a lot of people have access to youtube.com. For example, port 80 is nothing but internet web server. youtube.com. A lot of people has to access youtube.com, right? A lot of people has to access google.com. We should not confine to just one IP address, right? It has and it has um, and hence this should be always better to keep it in internet. Okay, however but port 22 should not be allowed since we edit the website and run multiple commands. It should be private only. Okay, hence it is safe to allow port 80 from 0000, but SS should be not allowed from internet. It means it is not should be 0.0.0.0/0. It should it is better to allow our own IP address. For example, this is our IP address, and hence I can put this one so that from my from my laptop, from my internet only, I can able to access that EC2 instance. That's what the case study. Again, this is sample case study to understand security group, and hence it has its own limitations. Okay, yeah. Now let us have just in summary. I just put some fancy words here, so just bear with me. So security group is first level of defense for EC2 instance. DNI rules are not defined. We discussed about this in the NACL. I think this I have taken this under. I don't know whether it is improved or not. So 5 security groups, single EC2 instance with 100 rules. Yeah, for each EC2 instance, we have 5 security groups, and these are all the rules, right? Like rule number 1, rule number 2. Like we can define 100 rules for each EC2 for each security group. I think that's what I meant here. I think so. Yeah. Allow all outbound traffic, which means outbound is free because anybody go from my apartment, but not anybody can come to my apartment. Okay, because Yeah, for import we should explicitly specify the rule. Okay, that's what it comes into picture. Okay, na? Yeah. So let's come to the another concept called NACL or NACL. See, as we discussed before, security group will restrict one apartment building to 25 stairs. But like this apartment, like this 25 stairs apartment, they assume that in this community there are four buildings are there. Okay, four buildings are there. For all of that, there should be some entry level checking point, right? For entry level gate, entry, that is the NACL. NACL will have the entry level security checkup for the entire community. Assume like, it's like analogy. So for entire public subnet, this NACL acts as a firewall. That's what I'm meant to say here. Okay, so they operate at the subnet level instead of instance level security group. All subnets in VPC must be assured with NACL. By default, security group contains full allow inbound and outbound. By default, it's saying because anybody can come in, anybody can go out. Okay, assume that let's say I have a company, lot of attacks from random IP. Okay, the company has more than 100 servers. 100, it's not easy, right? Security group decided to block IP in firewall for all the servers. Now we can specify that what is the IP address. We can in security group we have to go to each EC2 instance, and each EC2 instance, each EC2 is server, and we have to block the public IP. And it is very manual work involved here. However, if you can put, if you can block the public IP, if you can block this random IP within the subnet level by using NACL, and hence we can have solution actually. Okay, we cannot specify the IP address which should be blocked. Yeah, again, another point here is in security we cannot specify the IP address which should be blocked. This is the case of security group, and hence we cannot block the public IP address. However, by using NACL, we can define the deny rule with IP address of the attacker, which is this one, because deny rules can be applicable here, the NACL. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think it's not here. Let's move this one. Okay. Now let's understand the case study of NACL. Assume that we have defined a rule number 100, and source is in. Usually the rules I have defined in the NACL, because in the NSL we have defined some rules, right? Rule number 100, rule number 99. The rule number 1 is both rules are same. I mean, it should allow 0.0.0.0/0. It's denying it's 0.0.0, but it will take the priority order to the priority order. The rule number 1, right? It's the rule number 1 defined here, and the rule number 2, which means it allow all the inbound and outbound traffic. Okay. The case one, block a specific IP address. Like let's say for example I block my public IP. Assume that. So here I'm putting rule number 1 is denying public IP. Denying public IP, which means what happens anytime this specific IP address make a request to any sort of incidents that are part of VPC, traffic will be blocked because I am not able to access my EC2 instance because I blocked my own public IP address, right? Because I defined the rule number 99, because the first rule number 1, assume that it's rule number 1, assume that rule number 2, and as it will take this rule number 1 and it will connect to the EC2 instance. Okay, so case number block a specific IP address. Now just put this IP address. Okay, so this is not my public IP address, right? And hence I am able to access EC2 instance. Since after rule number 1, what is rule number 2? It has allowed to all the rules, right? Because 0.0.0.0.0/0 is allowed from all the IP address, right? So it will allow my IP address as well as it will allow all IP address except this IP address. So that's how the NSL work. Again, I will explain much more details. So let us assume this pointers for now. Each subnet must be associated with NACL, and if not, it will associate with default NACL. Default NACL allows all inbound and outbound traffic, and hence there's no restrictions. We have to define that. We can associate NACL with public subnets, with multiple subnets. Subnet can be associated with only one network at a time. So this is what the pointers. I hope we understand different case studies. Hope you enjoyed it. But yes, in the coming chapters I will explain much more details. Just bear with me. This is just my learning. I'm the beginning learning here. Just learning I'm the beginning stage only. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. See you.